Hey guys, and welcome to this second video on this two-part series of how to deploy your Django project to production to an EC2 instance using Gunicorn and NGINX. In the previous video, we managed to set up NGINX on our EC2 instance, and we also managed to uh, use NGINX to redirect our IP address to our Django project. And the way we did that was that we just had Python manage.py run server command running inside of our directory, and that is how we managed to get our Django project up and running. Now what I do is, if I just do to control C over here and I refresh this, I get a 502 bad gateway. The thing is that even though if you run the run server command directly inside of your Django project, inside of the Django project directory, it will work, but it's still not the best way to do it, because for some reason if your run server command crashes and your project is deployed into production, your customers will see that ugly looking 502 bad gateway. The right way, or the best, or the correct practice of doing this is to use something called Gunicorn or Daphne, but in this video we're just looking at Gunicorn. So what Gunicorn does is that in short, if I were to sum it up, it does not let your server it does not let your server stop. It automatically restarts it if the server crashes. That's the easiest and most simplest way of putting it out there. But yeah, I mean, this video is not for going over the theory or the concept behind Gunicorn. What I'll do in this video is that this exact run server command, which I had running in the terminal over here, I will use a Gunicorn.service and a Gunicorn.socket file to get my Django project up and running. So, I mean, I am already inside of my etc directory. I need to go inside of systemd, which is placed inside of etc, and I need to go inside of system over here. And when I need to do is, first let me just open systemd. It should be over here. There it is, systemd, and I need to open system. With that out of the way, what I need to do is I'll do sudo touch gunicorn.service. I've created a file by the name of gunicorn.service, which should be appearing over here any minute. I don't see it, but it should be there. Let me see if that was created. So yeah, I can see it, but for some reason it's not appearing. So let me just refresh this if it can possibly appear. Nope, it's not, because I need to paste my code over there, and the only way to paste my code over there is if I can see the file. So yeah, there it is. So it's appearing Gunicorn.server. That is what I was looking for, and I already have my code predefined. I'll just copy my code over here and I'll paste it over here. Now, without going into the theory too much, I'll just let you guys know of the two important concepts inside of this file. The first one is the working directory. The working directory is basically the directory where your main Django project is placed. In this case, it's var emi backend. And what do I mean by the Django project? Basically, the folder which contains the WSGI file. Wherever that folder with the WSGI file is placed, that parent folder is the working directory. And the other thing which I want to go over is this exec start. So basically the command which will be used to run Gunicorn. As you can see, I've already inside of this exec start, I am telling Gunicorn to use the Gunicorn version inside of my virtual environment, which I created earlier in the previous video, and then a bunch of settings over here, and I am binding it to the Gunicorn.sock or Gunicorn.socket file, which I have not created. And this is the main project immigration back, the folder which contains a WSGI file. So I hope I explained it as best as I could, but yeah, I mean, in short, this is what you need in order to get Gunicorn running. And what I will do is I will save this. And the next thing which I will do is I will create a new file called sudo touch gunicorn.socket, and I should have a new file ready, and I already have the code for that ready as well, predefined. I'll copy that and I'll paste it over here. Save as root. So our Gunicorn.socket and Gunicorn.service files are ready. Then once that is done, I need to go inside of my NGINX configuration because I need to change something. I already have it open over here. Now I will not have this as my proxy pass. In fact, I will have something else over here, which I also have already written. Basically what I'm telling in NGINX is that when someone hits this slash or basically hits this IP, you have to redirect them to the Gunicorn.socket or the service that we have set up. So do Command Shift P, save as root. Oh, sorry, Command Shift P, save as root. Yep. And let me do something. Sudo systemctl daemon / reload and sudo systemctl start Gunicorn, and then I will look at the status. So Gunicorn is running, and let's see what we get. We're still getting a bad gateway, so basically something is definitely off. So let's see what that is. Just let me do a command C. Sudo systemctl Gunicorn.service service. That's good. Socket. The first thing that we have to do is let's just go inside of our Gunicorn.service. If there is something with respect to the directory which doesn't make sense, looks good to me, nothing to be changed over here. Sudo systemctl. Oh, we have to restart NGINX as well. Sudo systemctl restart NGINX. Okay, that is taking some time. That's done. Let me just run one more command. NGINX -t. Yeah, I think it was -t. Okay, I was trying to look at the status of my NGINX command. I can't remember the command from the top of my head, but let's see if that works. So yeah, Gunicorn is running. That's a good thing. That's a good sign. We finally managed to run our Django project using Gunicorn. Now the other thing is that I can see the admin panel over here, which is very ugly. I need to load my static files. So this is going to be a two-step process. The first thing is, if I go inside of my django.config, I can see this location /static. It needs to redirect to my static folders directory, the directory which contains the static folder. So in this case, what I've written is var backend immigration back static. So this static folder will contain all of the static files. So to do that, let me just go over here, and it's backend immigration back. And if I do an ls, I don't see var backend immigration back. I don't see the static folder. This is where this command will come into play. python3 manage.py collect static. What this will do is it will just gather all the static files over here inside of this directory and bundle them up inside of the static folder. And okay, it cannot find the static folder. It should do it, but let's see. Oh yeah, sorry. I have to run the command over here because the manage.py was in the previous folder. Permission denied. Okay, yeah, sorry. One more thing. We have to do this as well. Basically define which Python are we using, which will be the Python inside of our virtual environment. Backend env. No, that's not the way to do it. Even though I've activated my virtual environment, but for some reason it's not picking it up. So it will be okay. Var emibag, just copy that, env /bin /python3 manage.py collect static, and just need to place sudo at the start. Collect, okay, sorry, let's see. Okay, so as you can see, it has copied var emibag back and immigration bag. Inside of immigration bag, it has copied and created the static folder. And for those of you who don't know why it was created inside of this immigration bag directory, well, the answer to that lies in where we define the static underscore root. The static underscore root over here has been defined in the base directory plus the static over here. So the base directory is obviously this one, the immigration bag folder, and inside of it is a static folder that is already defined. So yeah, this is what decides the location of the static folder, without complicating things up too much. Now the question comes up is that why did I have to explicitly tell my EC2 instance that this is the Python 3 version that we're using, even though our env is already activated? To be honest, I don't know. I have not investigated this problem yet, but that's just the quick solution. I learned this through trial and error, and I'll be honest, want to admit it. Anyways, let's see what we get. So we successfully, ran collect static, so that should be good to go. Now there's just one thing that is missing. We don't have the database defined. So right now, if I can go into immigration back over here, and if I open my wsgi.py, it is using the settings.test. It should be local, but all good, doesn't make much of a difference. Now if I open my databases over here, which should be defined, if it is, yeah. So by default, it's using Django.db.backend on SQLite 3. But another way of doing this is to have Postgres running. And what I'll do is, the first thing that I'll do is, I will put my wsg.py and just make this local like this, and I will commit this, git committed m git push, and once that is done, I will do git pull. Okay, sudo git pull. Okay, that has been done, and I will do sudo systemctl restart Gunicorn. That is done. Let me see what happens. Yeah, Gunicorn is running. So far so good. Now if I go inside of my local.py and I go and look at the databases, I want to use Postgres. I don't want to use SQLite, I want to use Postgres. But how can we go about doing that? For that, we need to have a Postgres instance running, which can be running locally, or it can be something that can be set up using Amazon RDS. Now, if I go to AWS and go to RDS, I already have an instance defined. Let me just open it up. Basically, I have already created a database which is running, up and running. And I will not be showing you guys how to set up an AWS RDS instance. It's very similar to EC2, but we can possibly do this for another video. What I will do is, if I can just open my .env, if I have it, yep. And don't worry if you guys can see my secret key DB name. After this video, I'll possibly shutting down my AWS RDS instance anyway. But what I will do is, I will let me just do something. Yep. So where is my settings.py located? Settings, and inside and over here what I'll do is I will create a .env, and I will command shift V like this. Oh, no, that is not what I need. I need to paste in the credentials of my AWS RDS instance in my .env file. So I will go over here to my project, copy, shift V. What are you doing? It's not letting me paste it. That's weird. But we can define it in another way. I don't need to do it over here, right? Command Shift X. Yeah, for some reason I cannot exit it as well. Okay, let me just terminate this directly. I don't need it anyway. What I will do is I will just copy this, and I already have my instance running. I will do new window. I will do open folder, var /i. There it is. That's a very big privilege, to be honest. Being able to connect VS Code to EC2 just makes things a whole lot easier. And now what I will do is I do have a .env. Oh, sorry, that's that env file. Immigration back, settings, and I will do command shift V. Okay, save as root, and inside of my local.py I already am defining my conditions. Okay, so far so good, looks good. Anything that I'm missing, anything that is cause of concern? Doesn't seem to look like it. I think we should be good to go. I guess we should be good to go. So the database is immigration back. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's just open terminal, and if I look at my WSGUI, that looks good as well. And let me just do one thing. I will see if the migrations have been run. env/bin/activate, and I will do I'll cd into backend, and I'll do is /var /emiback /env. Yep, env sudo /bin/python3 manage.py, show migrations, just to see if I'm connected to, and I am not connected to. Database immigration back does not exist. It's a good thing I already have this set up on my PG admin. So let's see what is it that we are doing wrong. I'll just wait for this to open up. So this is where the problem lies. I didn't have the database set up, which I need to do it right now. I am EME back. Let me just create a database like this. EME back. I'll go over here. Go to my .env. EME back. Command Shift P. Save as root. And let me do that again. Okay, we have finally connected to our database, and as you can see, none of the migrations have been made, which is reasonably understandable. So we have to run the migrate command, manage.py migrate. Normally I would run the migrations from my local machine, but for the sake of this video, it's just good. We do it from here. And if I do show migrations again, yep, looks good. We even have the auth set up. So let me just do one last thing. Create super user. Moeed@gmail.com. 1234. That's my password. 1234 again. Yep, all good. Super user created successfully. That's good. Let me refresh this. And 1234. Okay. It says so maybe it's the username. That should have worked. Why didn't it work? Let's see what we are missing over here. Schemas, public tables. Let me just open the authentication underscore user. All rows. So a user was created with this email, and a password is there as well, but for some reason this is giving me an error, which is not right. The only reason I can think of is that WSGI has those settings are not being picked up. It's still connected to it's connected to the wrong DB. That is what I can think of. Because we haven't restarted Gunicorn, that could be a reason. Let me just do that right now. Sudo system ctl daemon -reload. Sudo system ctl start GUNIC on Gunicorn. Let's just check the status. Because of the fact that I didn't restart it, Gunicorn maybe it's running on the old settings, so that could be a reason. So let me just put in my email, my password. Okay, that is definitely not the reason. So let me just try to debug this, and I'll get back to you guys in 2 minutes. So after quite some time debugging this issue, I think I know why this is happening. So let me just open my main local.py, and if I go inside of my authentication underscore backends. So this is deprecated. I used to, like, this is also obviously one of my personal projects. I'm not using this authentication backend anymore because of the fact it's not there. That's why Django cannot authenticate. And I have the replacement over here, which is Django's default authentication backend. And if I could just paste this over here like this, let me just do Command Shift V save, and let's see what we get. after I refresh this, obviously I'm not running this on Gunicorn anymore, but I will do that in a minute. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, at least we logged in. At least we logged in, that's for sure, because I got, yeah, it worked. Let's just try that again. 911@gmail.com. Awesome, splendid. I think that's working. Let's just reconfirm this with Gunicorn as well. Let me just do that right now. Sudo, no, not over here. That is supposed to be inside of this. Yep, like this. And let me just restart NGINX. And yep, I'm logged out. Okay, so Gunicorn again is giving me some issue. Let's see why that is. Oh, we have to restart Gunicorn as well. Maybe that systemctl restart Gunicorn. Start Gunicorn socket status Gunicorn dot socket. Looks like it's running. Yep, it's running, that's for sure. Awesome. Yeah, I think that resolved it. That 100% resolved the problem. Or it did not. So for some reason I cannot log in with Gunicorn. Is it due to the fact? No. What could be causing? Or maybe I did not save. Let me see. Sudo systemctl restart Gunicorn service. Okay, now it's working. I think maybe because of the fact that so I'm not sure why that happened. Maybe Gunicorn didn't start correctly. But the thing is that one other recommendation I would like to make is that never directly make changes inside of your VS Code the way I'm making it. This is obviously just for an example. Always commit your changes and make sure that you have pulled those changes in using Git. That could be the only possible reason I can think of. But let's just try this one more time to be on the safe side. Got logged in. Nope, never. Let's log in again. Looks like it's working perfectly fine. We can see our 3 users over here, just like we can see it inside of our DB, which has been connected to RDS. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was quite a long one. Yeah, I did get stuck in a few places, but I think the main concept has been delivered, which is how to get your project up and running and getting started with Gunicorn. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to give a like, share with your friends and family, for that helps me out a lot. I really hope my content is helping somebody out there. If it is, just subscribe, share, for that helps me out, gives me the motivation to make even more videos. And feel free to let me know if I am making mistakes or if I'm messing up somewhere. Your feedback will only be considered in a positive manner and will only help me make my videos even better. This is Mohit Lodi signing off.